So what we're learning here is that we have to go beyond just getting people saved. I believe in Jesus, and going to church and reading their Bible and praying. Those are all good things. They have to do that. But what they really need is they need to understand that their human spirit is born again, and they are now complete for the first time in their life. They are body, soul, and spirit beings for the first time in their life, and their spiritual senses are starting to wake up. And by exercising them, they can become stronger and stronger and stronger, and they can learn to hear God. They can experience the heavens. They can have visions and dreams of things that are supernatural that they didn't. And when they get done, they go, what in the world is this? They won't even understand that they are beginning to flow in the spirit realm. When we begin to walk in the spirit realm, it's so odd for us. It's so astounding for us. The first time you get a dream, the first time you get a vision, the first time God shows you something, you go, wow, this is what happened to me. I saw this picture, and you start explaining to people what you saw. And they're going, what do you mean you saw it? So now you're done, right? Or if they say, oh, that's really cool, tell me more about it. And what about this? And they start talking to you about it because they've had similar experiences. Now all of a sudden, when you get done, you go, that was so shocking to me. And that other guy talked like it was like every day. And then after walking through it for a few years, somebody comes up to us and say, you wouldn't believe what happened to me. Last night I went to sleep and I had this dream. And God literally told me in my dream, this is what's going to happen tomorrow. And I got up and I went to the day, and that's exactly what happened to me. And so I knew what to do because God already told me what was going to happen. Wow, that's incredible. Has that ever happened to you? You know, yeah, it happens to me every day. Because as you begin to learn how to walk in the Spirit, as you begin to learn how to coexist, physical, body, soul, and spirit, as you begin to learn and open up your life to what is happening in the kingdom of God, the way creation is intended to be, as you begin to learn that, then your whole life changes. And the things that Jesus says to do become natural. It's natural. It's unnatural for me to lord it over someone. I can feel it when I'm being a dictator. I can feel it when I'm doing a power play. At work or at home. I can feel it. And I start moving that direction, I go, nah. And if I follow all the way through, I feel like crap. 20 years ago, I wouldn't have even known. Somebody would have told me, why did you do that? Why did you say that? But now, because my spiritual senses are open, I'm getting data and information from the spirit realm that's now informing me about what's going on around me. And when somebody comes up and they're demonized, I'm not going to pound them and say, you're a terrible person and you're doing horrible things, I'm going to say to them, look, there's some things you're doing bad, but you got help. You want me to get rid of your help? If you want, we can get rid of your help. We can get rid of the spirits that are lying to you. They're sticking thoughts in your mind. You think it's you. Do you think it's you that every time you walk down the road and you see a good-looking woman and you say, yes, she's a good-looking woman, and I want to have her, and I want to have sex with her. Oh, no, you can't think that, and you're dealing with this pounding. You think that's you. That's just two demons that are playing you. One of them's tempting you, and the other one's condemning you for something that you didn't even think in the first place. You're being plagued by two demons, and you don't even know it. And you think you're the most lustful, horrible guy in the world. Yeah, you got a lust problem, but it's being amplified by these two spirits that are just walking through playing you over and over and over again. You want to get rid of them? We can get rid of them. If you don't have spiritual eyes to see, you can't even conceive that that's true. And when we talk that way to people that aren't living in the spirit realm, that aren't walking in an awareness of what's going on in the spiritual dimension of life, they have no idea what we're talking about. They try to reduce it to something that you can just understand with your soul. So they'll try to break it down into something psychological or something hormonal or something physical. And we're sitting there going, well, all of those things might be in play, but I see the two demons, and that guy's name's Paul, and that guy's name's, I know them by name, and I see them, and I hear what they're saying. I can tell you what they just said to you. One of them just said this to you, word for word. The other one said this to you, word for word. How did you know? Can you read my mind? No, I can't read your mind. I can hear them. I can hear what they're saying to you. I don't need to read your mind. I've got spiritual ears that can hear. You can't hear that conversation going on, but I can. Because I've exercised those abilities in my human spirit. I have dreams and visions, and because of the dreams and visions, I know where we're going. I can walk into a meeting, and the Lord can give me a vision for someone, and I can speak that vision to them, and they'll have hope that they wouldn't have before. Because they don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell them, this is where you're going, this is who you are, this is who God made you to be, this is what your destiny is. Move towards this, and you'll be happy, and you'll be fulfilled. I can speak that to a person because I can see their destiny in the spirit realm. God reveals it to me. And someone says, well, you're just making up a bunch of stuff. You're just saying a bunch of nice things to people. No. I wouldn't say a bunch of nice things because I might be wrong. And if I just made up something and threw it at them, chances are I've screwed up, and a year later they're going to be in total despair. Because none of the stuff I said is even true and could even happen. But if what I'm seeing is God's destiny for them, and I speak it to them, and they begin to walk in it, it will all happen. Because God laid out the road, and I'm just directing them to begin to walk on it. So it's a different type of world that we're talking about, and what we want to do is help people understand that. But you can't deal with it. You can't understand it unless you first realize this is where humans live. We live in a world full of junk. We live in a world not just of sin that we have to overcome or we got to be better. No, we're spiritually dead. Our left hands are all strapped. Until we deal with that problem, dealing with sin is only a temporary fix. It's not going to result in long-lasting change. No matter what how good our intentions are, it will only be a short-term fix. The real fix is getting people's left arms untied so that they can begin to move and getting them to the point where God rebirths their human spirit so they can begin to walk in the Spirit. And when we do that, now the world will begin to change. Now revival will start happening, and God has this group of people who he can direct directly in the Spirit like he did when he talked to Adam and Eve in the garden. And they're moving and flowing with what God is doing. And you want to pick a side. A lot of people may not like his side, but I'm going to pick the designer of the universe's side. He kind of knows how it's supposed to fit together. I think I'd rather flow with him. And now I have the opportunity because I know how he's directing us. I know the direction he's providing. I know what he's doing. And if what he doesn't tell me, he tells you, or he tells you, or he tells you. He tells each of us. He reveals different things to each of us. And we put that together, and we begin to get the full revelation of the Lord. I look for that day when there's hundreds of thousands and millions of Christians all hearing from the Lord, and now instead of confusion on the internet, there begins to be clarity on the internet. Because we're talking about what God's revealing. What God's revealing, what God's revealing. We start seeing the multifaceted thing that he's revealing. Instead of it pulling us apart and making going, no, that doesn't all work together, I got to oppose that. We say, oh yeah, but that all fits in with that. And it's like puzzle pieces being fit together as people begin to walk in revelation and communicate that with each other.
Because God's orchestrating it all.
Yeah, he's orchestrating it, and he's allowing us to participate. You know, he's not forcing us, he's not jamming us, we're not robots. He's inviting us to participate in what he's doing and reconciling all things to himself.